Hello everyone and welcome to another video on JavaScript programming. Hope you guys are doing well. Kaushal this side from SimplyCode, and today we are going to discuss debugging in JavaScript using Chrome Developer Tools. So this topic is slightly different from what we have studied till now. We'll discuss everything about debugging in JavaScript in this particular tutorial. So before we begin, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and press that bell icon to never miss an update from SimplyCode. So without any further delay, let's get started. We have been using the console for a long time now. We have seen how we can use it to print the output of our program in the console. That's quite simple. Now, debugging refers to finding and fixing errors in a program. Now, to remove those errors, we need to identify them and analyze the solution for them as well. So in this video, we will see how to identify an error in a program with Chrome Developer Tools. And what we'll do today is we'll create a simple HTML program and we'll try to understand the concept of debugging in JavaScript with the help of that program. So let's do something here. Now we'll create two text boxes over here. So what we'll do is we'll take the user's input to add two values entered by the user in those text boxes. So what we'll do is we'll write here input type is equals to number, because we want to perform addition of two numbers, and then we'll write here id as, let's say the id for number 1 is n1, and then we'll write here placeholder right here, let's say number 1. Fine. Now we'll do the same for second number as well. We'll write here number id is equals to n2, placeholder is equals to number 2. Fine. The last thing we have to do is we have to insert a submit button. So we'll write here input type is equals to button, and we'll write the value as submit, and we'll use an event over here. So we'll write here on double click, we'll call the function add on clicking. Fine. Now save it, and you can see we have two text boxes over here and a submit button. Fine. We tried a new on-click event here. Instead of using the regular on-click event, we have used the double-click event. Now the functioning will remain the same. The only change is that we have to double-click on the submit button to call the add function. Now we are done with the HTML part. The next task is to create a function that can perform addition over the values entered by the user. So let's move on to the JavaScript file and we'll create a function here. So we'll write here function. The function name is add, and then we have the body of this function. We'll take three variables. We'll write here var number 1. We'll use the document dot get element by id, and the id for number 1 is n1. We'll write here dot value. Fine, we'll do the same for number 2 as well. So we'll copy it from here and we'll paste it here. Instead of number 1, we'll write here number 2, and the id will be number 2, and then we'll take another variable where number 3 that will hold the value after addition. So we'll write here number 1 plus number 2. Fine. Let's give some space between them. And the last thing we'll be doing here is we'll be using the alert keyword, and we'll be printing the output on a browser. So we'll write here the sum is plus number 3. Fine. Now save it. And here we have created a simple function to add two numbers. The value of the first number will be stored inside variable number 1, and the second value will be held inside variable number 2. For instance, if the user enters 10 in box 1 and 20 in box 2, the expected output will be 30, right? Let's check it out. So save it again, and we'll write here 10 in box 1 and 20 in box 2, and we'll double click on the submit button. And here you can see the output is different from what we have expected. The output is 1020 instead of 30. Now what's happening here is the system is taking the numbers as strings, and then the plus operator is used to append those values. So the solution is simple. What we have to do is we have to use the parseInt method and it will take care of the rest. We have already discussed this parseInt method in the previous sessions, right? So we'll write here before this document dot get element by id, we'll write here parseInt and we'll keep this inside brackets. Fine. We'll do the same for number 2 as well. We'll write here parseInt and we are good to go. Save it now and we'll write here 10 and 20 again. We'll write 10 inside the first box and 20 inside the second one, and double click on this submit button and you can see the output is 30 now. It says the sum is 30. Now we have used the alert keyword here to print the output, but we could have used the console.log to print the same, right? So let me just take you through the developer tools first and then we'll discuss about it. So we'll maximize this Chrome, we'll go to the Chrome browser and we will press F12 here. So on clicking the F12 key from our keyboard, we have this over here. So we have the elements tab. The elements tab consists of the structure of the document. If you hover on anything over the elements page, you will see that we are getting the output of what that particular statement did on the web page. You can see if we hover on the body tag, we are getting the whole area occupied by the body tag inside the web page. Now the next part is the console. We already know what the console can do for us. We know that we can print the output over a console and perform some temporary logic building here. The benefit of using a console is that it can get you all the errors that the VS Code can't. For example, if we move back to our VS Code and let's say when we were writing our program, we made a small typing mistake and we wrote here var b instead of var. You can see VS Code will let us know that there's something wrong in this statement. There's a red line over here. So we have to fix this problem and the console will also let us know about it. But there are some errors which the VS Code can't detect. What we'll do is we'll comment these two lines for now. So we'll correct it first and then we'll comment these two lines. Fine. What we'll do is we'll write here console.log and inside this we'll write here the sum is, and we'll write here number 1 plus number 2. Fine. Now this is also the same thing we just did. Instead of using the alert box to print the output, we have used the console for it. So let's check the outcome first. We'll save it first and then we'll open the console here. So here you can see on writing the numbers inside these text boxes and on double clicking this submit button, you can see we have the output as 1020. Now one thing we have to keep in mind is we have to write here parseInt. So we'll write here parseInt again and we'll put these two numbers inside brackets. Save it now and we'll go back to our Chrome browser. We'll write here 10 and 20 again. Now double click on this submit button and you can see it says sum is 30. It's working totally fine. Now imagine a situation where we forgot to put the plus sign here, right? What I'm saying is imagine a scenario. So let me just do one thing. Let me put this console here and what we'll do is, let's say we forgot to put this plus sign over here. Fine. The VS Code is not giving us any hint about the mistake we just made. We have no idea about it and we came to know about it during execution. Save it and write here 10 and 20. Fine. Now we are expecting the output as 30, but we don't have any idea about the mistake. Double click on the submit button and you can see we have an error message over here in the console. So the console helps us in finding those hidden errors in our program. You can see we have the information about the mistake we made in the console here. So we have the exact location of the error. The error is present on line 5 of this file. So here's the error. It will let us know everything about the error. Now another way to find the error in a program is by going through the sources tab. So what we'll do is we'll move this console to the side again and we'll go to the sources tab and you will notice that this particular line is highlighted in red color. We can change it here, but the change will not be visible in our main JavaScript file. So we have to change it there in our main JavaScript file. Let's correct the error over there. What we'll do is we'll zoom this VS Code as well. So we'll put the plus sign here again. Now save it and we are good to go. Now the sources tab is used to find the errors, as well as we can go through the execution of the program step by step. Now we have the navigator here on the left hand side. So this is the navigation part. And on the right hand side, we have the debugger. Here you can see we have so many options over here. We have certain breakpoints. We have breakpoints, we have scope, call stack, DOM breakpoints, global listeners, event listener breakpoints. So breakpoint refers to the point or place where we intentionally stop the program so that we can review the further execution process. For example, we have an event listener in our program, right? The on double click event. What we can do is we can stop the execution process when the system reaches there. Now what we have to do is we have to go to the event listener breakpoints and we have to select the mouse option over here. Now inside this mouse option we have certain events, right? You can see we have click, double click, mouse down, mouse up, and we'll click on this double click event. Now write any numbers over here inside the text boxes. So let's say we are writing here 20 and 30. Double click on this submit button and you can see the screen turned gray. Now this code looks a little bit long because we are using the live server. So let me just pause the live server and then I'll come back to you guys. Now we'll open this page and inside here what we'll do is we'll choose the mouse option. We'll choose the double click option inside mouse. So here's the mouse and we'll choose the double click option. So we are doing the same thing. Let me just increase the size a bit. Now we'll write here 20 and 30 inside number 2. Double click on the submit button and you can see the rest of the browser screen turning gray. And the execution is stopped at this particular line because we have a double click event over here. Now what we can do is we can go further step by step in our program. We have 4 options over here. You can see we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 options. Now the first option is the resume script execution. The resume script execution will execute the entire script and give us the output. The next option is the step over next function call and it will take us to the next function call present in the program. Then we have the step into the next function call and it will do the same as the step over next function call. And then we have step out of the current function. It will take us back to the initial function from wherever we are. Now the last option is the step option and it takes us a step forward in the program. Fine. Now click on this step function again and again. So when you click it once, you can see we are in the next part. So this is the next line which will be executed in the program. Click on the step again and you can see we are going for the step by step, right? And then you can see the JavaScript file is executed and it will move back to this double click event, and the final step, it will print the output on the console. So if we go here on the console, you can see we have the output is 50. Fine. So this is how we can review our program step by step. And one more thing is it will show us the error as well. Now let's try to create an error in our program. What we'll do is we'll move to a JavaScript file and we'll remove this I from here. Fine. So save it now and move back to Chrome. And what we'll do is we'll refresh this file and we'll write here 2 numbers. We'll write here 20 and 30. Double click on the submit button. You can see the program is stopped at this particular breakpoint. Now click on the step button and you can see we are going for the step by step. The moment it will execute this line, it will give us an error, and you can see the moment it executed this particular line, the line turned red. Fine. If we go to our console, you can see here we have the error over here. It says parse int is not defined or parse int is not defined. So this is a reference error. And this is how the Chrome developer tools help us in finding those errors and fixing them. Now a big question here is why we are using the developer tools. The program is small and we can find the error by ourselves. So guys, this was just an example to illustrate how we can find those minor hidden errors in a program. The scenario can be different at times. Suppose we have a program that has over 1000 lines of code, and in that case we simply can't go through each line to find that particular error. We need something with which we can see the error quickly and more efficiently. So that's where the developer tools come into picture and help us. Almost all the browsers these days support developer tools. So there's no such problem that you can't use the developer tool with any particular browser. So try it in the browser you are using and let us know about your experience in the comment box. So that's all for this video guys. See you in the next one where we will go through fade in and fade out animations. Another interesting topic in JavaScript. If you liked this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you have any doubts, do let us know in the comments below. Share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe Simply Code. Thank you.